Hi guys, welcome to the short video about what to look for when you're looking or searching for an indoor TV antenna. I'm talking about HDTV antennas which are receiving signals for free. You can cut the cable, you don't have to pay like $50 or $60 per month. You can just put the thing on a table and connect it with your TV as long as it has an HDTV receiver, which most TVs have. You can receive a lot of programs. Sometimes you can also use these things with a set-top box. So I have already bought 3 of them, and my experience was really very mixed and surprising, and I found some really interesting things when I was testing and comparing these antennas. So the question is what to really look for when you go and buy and search, or let's say on Amazon. There are a couple of things. They have different shapes. This is some kind of newer model. The old models, I'm going to show you that later, they are more like a square, very flat black square. These look a little bit more fancy. And what we also have, usually we have an year. So this is somehow pretending the year when it came out. There is nothing. It doesn't say like was developed in 2021. They just say 2021, and people think, okay, 2021, wow, that's really new, must be a really good thing. No, when you go down into the details of the listing, you will see date first available March 17, 2020, almost 1 year old, has nothing to do with 2021. They just write it because they know that people are looking for that. So yeah, is it the price? Is it the year? Is it the miles? Yeah, miles could also be something. On every listing of such HDTV antennas, you'll find miles indication, and they start, sometimes they are saying 50 miles, sometimes they are saying 150 miles, then 250 miles. And I have the impression, I have been looking always into these listings for the last couple of months or even a little bit longer, and I had the impression that it is like catching fish. The longer it takes, the higher the numbers are. So every year, same antennas, they grow in miles. I think they are not getting any better, but I'm going into that later. I think these miles, yeah, I'm a little bit in doubt about these things. But at least we have some indications, but still you're probably a little bit lost as I was. And so I bought these 3 antennas and I was comparing them side by side today regarding how many channels they were able to receive in our area. Here we have Florida, Tampa Bay. We have some channels, not extremely a lot. When you're like in New York City or Miami or Chicago, you probably have much more, and it's probably much easier to receive them. If you are in an area where you are far away from the antennas, it's a little bit more difficult. By the way, there's a map. That's the website fcc.gov media engineering /DTV maps. I think that's more or less an official thing. And here you can enter your zip code, and then you get a nice overview what you should be able to receive and how strong. Here you see the lineup for Miami. I entered just the zip code of Miami, and they have a lot of channels strong, and here you can see which ones are strong, which moderate, which weak, and no signal. You can go down, you see most of the channels you should be able to receive in good quality in Miami, and some of them with a weaker signal. Yeah, I'm not really 100% sure that this is the best map. I remember that I've seen a map or a website where I've seen the channels where they are sending from, and the distance, and I don't find this here, so maybe you'll find something better. Yeah, anyway, I have made this small overview where you see these 3 antennas. You see the brand and the miles which they indicate. I also made some columns for the cable lengths and something about the plug quality, and of course the channels found and the price, which you can see they are pretty close. That's the oldest one which I've bought like half a year ago, which is the cheapest, has the lowest miles, and has this really old-fashioned style. Then we have these newer things which have both 220 miles, a little bit more expensive. So here I have the amount of numbers which they have found, but they are white on white, so I'm not going to show you that. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures during my test. So I've been starting with my old-fashioned antenna, that's the one here, and I've been scanning 47 channels. You can see that here, 47 channels on my Samsung TV, and I had the antenna here at the window. So you can see this here, this is the antenna, that's the packaging, and that's the amount of channels it has found. And then I've been switching to the second one. You can see this with the black thing here, and it has found first 0. You can see the antenna here, it has even some extra antenna. Yeah, 0 found, and I put it on the side. I thought maybe better, yeah, still 0 found. I tried a couple of positions, I replugged, unplugged, and yeah, I went back and forth, and finally it has found 17 channels, but definitely not more. It was super disappointing because it's definitely a newer, fancy style, more expensive, but only 17 channels found. Yeah, I can see that here from close, 17 channels, really disappointing. I've tried everything, yeah, it didn't improve. What I've also noticed is regarding the plug, and you can see the difference here. There's a European plug, at least we have been using this in Europe, and that's probably the American style. So the advantage of the European style is we have this thicker, like copper center thing. I mean, it's not really copper. I mean, in the cable it's or in the wire it's copper, but in the plug it's not copper. It's just like metal. It's much thicker and more stable. The disadvantage, it doesn't have a thread. You can just plug it in and plug it out. There's nothing to screw here. The advantage, we have the thread. I mean, advantage, yeah, I don't see it always as an advantage. It's much more work than with this one, and I've never seen a plug just pulled out accidentally. But anyway, it is as it is. In US we have more this copper center directly in the plug and not only behind in the cable, so that's the difference. And what I want to show you actually with the newer antennas, we just get this very cheap copper center here. Maybe you can see that even better, yeah, here, and you can definitely bend it if you don't hit the center, the female center of the TV. It can be that you bend it to the side and then it doesn't transmit anything. So, and this white plug which you see here represents quality of both of the white modern antennas. So here's the plug of the black, the old-fashioned black antenna, the cheapest one, and you can see, I mean, it's still the American style. It's the one with the thread, but it has a much more stable and thicker center. It's definitely a huge advantage. I never had any problems with this one, but I had a couple of times already problems with this center here, so also not so good. This is something which I have also been noticing in my Excel sheet. So let's continue then with the last one, and already on the first attempt just put it here underneath the window and I got 40 channels. You can see that here. I've tried a couple of times with different locations. I have moved it up here, was hanging it over these shade things here directly behind the window. 38, you can see that here hanging, 38 and 36 here a little bit. Yeah, I thought, yeah, maybe signal is coming down and from this direction I had the impression, but just 36 didn't really help. Then I glued it somehow with double-sided tape to the window. I mean, it's not like a permanent solution, it's just like a tape which you can attach and then release. This one of these newer style tapes, and I got 41, but that was really it, with perfectly attaching it to the window. And by the way, yeah, when you look closely at the antenna, you will see that I have turned it around by 180 degrees, so maybe this could help, because the intention is, I think, to mount it on a wall. And so I did a similar thing on the window, but you can see not much help. 41 here, turned it around as well. 34, definitely not much improvement. Yeah, here I think I had 36, but that was about it. I went back to the old-fashioned black cheap thing. I think it's originally 2019 model or so. 46 here, just sticking here into the shades. You can see how I had this here, no big deal, no big mount or something like that. And I put it even a little bit higher, and it was just sticking with 46, no improvement. So here we have the final result. So accordingly, here we have the final result. That's the original thing, and now we have the final result. Yeah, I think now it's a little bit larger. You can see that better. That's the overview. That's the oldest, with only 150 miles. It has also pretty short cable, by the way. This was still okay. I have been able to move it all the way around behind the TV, alongside the wall, and then to the window. This is enough. This is a little bit shorter here, and this is the longest. This is something which you have to consider if you have a long way to the next window or so, and window is definitely highly recommended. Don't just put it behind a wall. It will be even much worse regarding reception amount of channels if you have it just on an inside wall. If you keep it inside, you have to go close to a window. That's definitely my advice here. But anyway, let's keep going. Yeah, 150 miles. And the cheapest one, oldest one, old-fashioned, but 47 channels. Yeah, I think I have made a mistake here. It's not 14, it's actually 41, but still it's below that. And yeah, that's the 220 miles, and the other 220 miles, they totally disappointed. They have also both these cheap plug here, but they come at least with a free EU adapter if it's needed. I don't know. I mean, if you have been moving from EU to US and you have this EU adapter on your TV, yeah, that could help definitely. But it's amazing to see how the old-fashioned cheap with the lowest mileage indication has been performing the best. Again, that's 41, that's not 14, but still it has been performing the best of all these three things. So my advice is, don't get deceived about this new fancy style. Don't get deceived by the year when they say 2021. Don't get deceived by the miles. I have seen now some are indicating 280 miles. I think every couple of months you probably can expect some more miles, but I mean just on the listing and not in real life. So yeah, this is it, surprising thing. And so I'll put down the link to the Amazon listing only to this one here down into the description. It doesn't make much sense to buy these things here. Yeah, maybe this one. I'll also put the link down of this one, but definitely not this one. This is just a complete fail, not worth to buy it. And yeah, I hope I've been able to help you a little bit with this video. If you have any questions or comments, just write to the comment section below, and I'm always happy to talk about these things. And if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.